The title of this video is called The Addition Property of Equality with Integers. Basically what that means is you have an equation and you need to solve it by adding or subtracting an integer. And an integer is just a number that's either positive or negative, not a decimal, not a fraction, anything like that. So -2, -3, -5, -10, 8, 7, 92, something like that. So this is kind of like a very introductory topic at the beginning of solving equations. So let's just hop right to some examples. So if we have something like this, v minus 4 equals 83, our goal is to get the v by itself, and the thing that's stopping us in this case is the 4. The 4 is being subtracted, so what we have to do to get rid of it from that side, where this is kind of the side of the equation, we need to get rid of that 4 by undoing the subtraction. We undo subtraction by using addition. So to show you work, you kind of write underneath what you're doing, and then the rule of thumb on solving equations, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other. So we have to add 4 over here. Double check that the thing that you've written underneath the equation actually goes to 0. Does -4 plus 4 go away to 0? It does, so we're successful in getting rid of the 4. The only thing we have on that side of the equation now is v. And then when we go over to the right-hand side of the equation, 83 plus 4 will give us 87. We've achieved our goal. The v is by itself. It's set equal to a number, so we have solved that equation. If we wanted to check our answer, what we could do is take the 87 and put it into the original equation and see if it makes sense, and it should come out to be true. So we found out that v is 87. 87 minus 4, does that equal 83? And if you figure it out with a calculator or on your hands or just math facts, you'll realize that it does. Alright, let's try another one. Let's say that we have -4 equals w plus 9. Again, our goal is to get the w by itself. On the side of the equation with the w, there's a 9. Alright, so we have to figure out how to get rid of that 9. The 9 is being added. The opposite of addition is subtraction, so that's what we're going to use. We show our work just like that. And again, what we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side of the equation. So basically, I want to point out here that these two things that you're writing should be exactly the same. If you subtract from one side, you have to subtract from the other. Alright, let's rewrite and see where we're at. Do these cancel out and go to 0? Positive 9 minus 9 gives us 0, so that's gone. So the w still stays there. And then on the left-hand side of the equation, we have -4 minus 9. Probably one of the biggest things I see for mistakes in these is people just go too fast. So if writing it out sideways helps you to realize that you're taking a negative and you're subtracting another number, that can be a positive thing to do, no pun intended. But sometimes people just see the 4 and the 9 and they're like, oh, the answer is 5. So just be careful with that. It's silly to make a mistake just with adding and subtracting. Let's do a couple more. Let's do -5 equals x plus 7. And then we'll do, let's say 6 equals y minus 11. If you feel like you're good with this topic and you want to kind of check yourself before you actually X out the video, you could hit pause right now after writing down these two problems, give it a shot on your own, and then hit play and make sure you get the right answers. To solve the top problem, again, we have two sides to the equation. The side with the x on it also has a 7 that we need to get rid of. The 7 is being added. The opposite of addition is subtraction. Those will cancel out. What we subtract from one side, we have to subtract from the other. -5 minus 7, so if you borrow 5 from me and you borrow 7 more, you owe me 12. That's going to set equal to just the x, so x will equal -12. The bottom equation, 6 equals y minus 11. Our goal is to get the 11 out of that side of the equation. Since the 11 is being subtracted, we're going to do it with addition. -11 plus 11 cancels, leaving just y on that side, and 6 plus 11 will give us 17. I'll do two more just in case you want a little more practice or a little more things to watch. Let's say that we have x minus 13 equals 18. And then we have y plus 3 equals 3. Alright, for the top equation, x minus 13 equals 18. We need to get rid of the 13 by using addition. Those will cancel out. what we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side. And 13 plus 18 will give us 31. The bottom equation, we have a 3 on the same side as the y. The 3 is being added, so we need to subtract it. 3 will cancel with -3, leaving just a y. And then just do the math on this one. 3 minus 3 will give us 0. I did this equation on purpose. A lot of times people get 0, but they're like, no, there's no solution. It just feels funny when it feels like your numbers are going away, like what happened there? But 0 is completely an A-OK answer to get. It doesn't mean there's no solution. It means that 0 is the solution. And if you plug it back into the original, it totally makes sense. What plus 3 gives you 3? The only thing that you can add to 3 and still get 3 is 0. So just remember that 0 is a valid number. It's totally a valid answer. All right, thanks for listening. I hope this helped.